Alright, setting up the freehand nail tabber from Accufast. First thing you want to do, undo these screws here and pull the peel plate out. Load the tabs. You have two cores that go into the roll of tabs. Stick them in there. Load it onto the spindle. Up and over the dancer roller here. Through the front. It's also best to have the first bunch of tabs off of it so you don't drop any tabs down inside the machine. Drop your peel plate back down in there. Press it in position and tighten your screws back up. Open that up. Lock it in. Flip this on. Take up spool. And that's it for setting up the tabs. Now we'll set up the male piece. The easiest thing to do is look to see where you're going to be putting the tabs. If you're going to be putting one in the center, one on the sides. For this, we'll do an example of putting one right in the center. So I'm going to fold the male piece in half and eye up. Since this separator tip is in line with the tabs, I'm going to use that as a guide, and I'm going to set this guide accordingly. Little lever here, I'm just going to lock it back in. Take our mailer. Take one in this case. Sometimes you might want to do two pieces. In this case I'm just going to do one. And with this type of mailer, since it's just a single fold, I'm just going to use actually one of the separators instead of two of them. I'll loosen this up, let it drop down, and lock it back in. If it was a tri-fold, I might want to do two tri-folds and lock it in. With this, I'm just going to use one. If I was doing the center and doing the edge of the tab, I would use all three, maybe just two of them, and keep this one up in the air. Depends on your male piece. For now, I'm just going to put these two up in the air and use one. Slide my other guide over. Put some pieces in here to get a better idea where the guides are going to go. And lock it in. Alright, now this tabber, as soon as you turn it on, it's going to start feeding. I'm going to hit the power switch on the side. I'm going to check this thing, make sure everything's feeding okay. You may find that sometimes if there's a curl in the piece, it will feed differently if you lock it over. Since there's a curve in it, you must have to hold it up a little bit going out right. I'm going to flip it back around in a second. To actually start tabbing, hit your tab button. And the fan, my piece is back a little bit, so they're staggered a little bit. Stick them back in there. Definitely feeding good. We'll turn the tab on. And that's it. If I see the tab isn't centered, it pretty much is. But if it wasn't, you just slide the guides over a little bit. Yeah, let's just do tabbing on the side real quick. I got it off to one side. Got the other side. Flip them over. And now we got the other side. This happens to be a perforated tab. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's hidden right dead in the middle. If it wasn't in directly in the middle, your peel plate, and clear this out real quick. Best not to cut it off with the tab hanging down. You just turn the tab head off and let one through.